Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for downloading this content strategy guide. I am Kayla and I'm going to help walk you through this. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us directly. You can send us an email to tripthecleftybully@gmail.com. I'll make sure I have it in the description below this video, as well as if you would like to leave a comment, if you have any questions or get stuck, please let me know. You can also send us a direct message to our Instagram DMs. Again, that would be tripthecleftybully@gmail.com or our Instagram DMs, which is trip_the_clefty_bully. Or you can just type in tripthecleftybully and I'm sure it will come up anyway. But yeah, super excited to share this with you guys. I put in a lot of work, time, effort, energy into building this out. I've done a lot of research in the current trends for social media. And so this guide is essentially for those who either are looking to start a social media account, already have a social media account established, and you're looking to help it grow. And you can do this across multiple platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, YouTube Shorts. There's so many different ways. Or if you're just looking to do this as like a side hobby and see where it goes, this guide is a great starting place. I also included a bonus calendar and a planner, which you can leverage to help track all of your growth. And you can also use it to actually input all of the content that you will be posting for the next 2 to 3 months. Because the goal here is to fill out this worksheet within 1 hour, and to essentially have at least 3 months worth of content essentially written out so that you can take the thinking out of the doing, and that way you can actually start doing something. Because I believe in big action, and if this resource doesn't help you actually apply the things that you're learning, then I don't feel like there's going to be any growth. So my goal here obviously is just to give you a bit of information on the different strategies, the platforms, the algorithms, and then what you essentially need to do to make a start. So once you get this document, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click the link, which should open up to a Google Drive like this, and then you'll hit download, or it may automatically just download for you. Once it downloads, you just click open, and it should open up into, again, it should be through your Google browser, just like this. As we go through it, and I'm really excited about this, we have obviously a little intro here. This is where the YouTube video will be linked. I haven't posted it yet, but I will make sure that it's in there by the time you get this document. And then this is our social media handle, so you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're going to go through 5 different steps to help basically start or launch your social media platform of choice and help it grow within the next 2 to 3 months. Ideally, we would like to see you hit at least 10,000 new followers, or just huge growth in general in your views or your likes. We'll dive into the strategies and the platforms, posting frequency, content research, creating the content, and then putting it into the calendar or the planner at the end. And then this is Trip. If you haven't already seen him, he is a goofball, and I would highly recommend you follow him. I will also be posting a lot of tips and tricks here pretty soon on growing your dog's social media account. It's something I want to implement into our account currently because I know the value that it has. This essentially is just a guide for you to get started, and then hopefully with the goal being that you're able to grow your pet's presence online, and then from there, who knows where it can go. You can earn a lot of brand collabs and and different stuff like that. So if you hear any noise in the background, I do have 3 dogs. They are currently sleeping, but they could awake at any moment. So just be aware of that. We are a dog family, so that's just part of our life. Let's jump straight in. So we have our strategy and platform. Basically, every platform has a different algorithm. And when we talk about platforms, we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And so the algorithms are essentially what the platforms use to determine whether a video is going to blow up or reach a lot of people, or if it's something that doesn't reach a lot of people at all. So you could have 16,000 followers, but only a handful of your followers actually see the post, and then therefore it looks like you don't have a lot of interactions or anything like that. It usually isn't because of the algorithm. It's not the algorithm's fault. It's because you, as a creator, are not posting the content that the algorithm needs to send it to the audience that you're looking to get it in front of. So what we need to do is we need to implement the strategy so that we can make sure that our content is actually getting in front of our audience and that the algorithm is pushing it out. And this is the best strategy so far that I have come across, at least from all of my research and knowledge and just application in general. This is where I would be starting if I were to restart my Instagram. And I actually did start a new Instagram for our new dog that we just adopted. Her name is Indy, and her Instagram handle is Indy and Tilly. And if you're interested and you want to see how I'm applying this strategy to a new account that isn't established, like Trip's one is, then yeah, definitely go ahead and follow along because I'm going to be posting a lot in that account as well. And so I'm kind of excited to see how that goes because I'm starting it from scratch, meaning 0 followers. I don't believe in buying followers or getting fake followers or anything like that. Like, we do everything organically. We genuinely want to add value to the community, and I feel like adding value is what attracts people to you, as well as your identity or your personality or anything like that. Like, there's different things that will attract a following to your account, and so that's what we're looking to achieve here. Now, the strategies that are most common are obviously your niche-based strategy. Everybody should have a niche, but not everybody knows what their niche is. However, this is the most common approach to social media success. So if you haven't figured out your niche, which if you're a dog owner and you've downloaded this PDF, planner guide, I'm assuming your niche is the dog category, right? Perhaps you are a dog trainer, or you're a rescue, or you're a foster parent, or you have a really cute pit bull or American bully dog, and you're just looking to grow their account. That would be your niche, right? You are under the dog niche, okay? Pet owner niche. That is where you would sit. And then from there, you would then determine what your umbrella is, meaning what you could post about that stays under that niche, because we don't want to veer off of that niche if you're going to be posting on Instagram, for example, because Instagram is very niche focused. And if Instagram is confused on what your niche is, then other people are going to be confused on what your niche is, and therefore Instagram will not promote any of your posts or anything like that. So the niche is super important. So when you're setting up your account, if you're primarily posting about your dog, so you have an account for your dog, that would be your niche. And then you would be posting anything dog related. So it could be dog humor that is relatable for parents. You could be posting trends to sounds for dogs. You could be posting educational stuff about your dog. You could be posting entertaining stuff about your dog, their personality or their quirks and their traits. There's a lot of different things that you can post on that will draw attention to that niche itself. And that's what we want to focus on today. Now, as for those who don't know their niche, which I don't think will be anybody watching this video, but in case it is, if you're somebody who essentially just wants to create a lot of content, but you don't really know where yet to fall into that category of niche creation or whatever, essentially the best place that you could start is somewhere that allows for you to reach a lot of people just based on your audience. So for example, if I were to look at myself, and I even wrote it here actually as an example, if somebody is a mom of dogs and kids, but you don't want to just post about your child and your dogs, then maybe perhaps you have a knack for helping others find balance in their work-life schedule or how they navigate having kids and dogs at home. Maybe it's organization and systems, right? Because as a mom, you might have an organized calendar or schedule, and then also maybe it's self-care, because amidst all of this craziness, like you also need to have self-care. All of those would fall under like an audience category. This is where Instagram is not really going to promote your whole lot, because it's going to be a lot more challenging for it to figure out what your exact niche is, because you're going to be posting about a lot of different things. You're going to be posting about self-care, and then you're going to be posting about organization, and then you're going to be posting about a couple dogs and then your kids and how it all integrates together. So audience-based platforms are where I would start. If that's your type of strategy that you want to go for, I would go for the Facebook platform to post on, or I would go for YouTube platforms to post on. And that's just based on what the algorithm is looking for. You can post on Instagram and TikTok if you would like, but you will not find as much success in those areas as fast as you would in the Facebook and YouTube arena. Now, as for identity, same thing applies. You can go in here and read this, but basically it's those who have like a unique trait or something that's super relatable about them. And it can be harder to obviously get followers this way because you need something that really sets you apart. However, it is possible. I know with Trip, he has a really unique trait about him. He has the cleft lip feature, which is relatable for other people who have cleft lips, or even him being an American bully breed. They have a very unique trait about them. And so a lot of other American bully breed pet owners may want to follow him because it's relatable. The content I'm posting is something that they can identify with. And so it is possible. It's just a lot more harder to gain a following just based on that alone. That's why we want to focus on the niche first, and then audience, and then identity. And then you want to figure out what platform you can actually apply those to. So down below here, I wrote out the platforms that we will dive into, obviously, when it comes to the algorithm and what strategies work best. So for Facebook, you can use all 3 strategies perfectly, and that would be fine. Instagram is the niche-based platform specifically. They have it actually somewhere in their description of what Instagram promotes, and it's primarily niche-based categories, best for basically getting as many people to view your video that is in that audience that it would be pertaining to. So that's why when you start your Instagram account, they ask you what are your interests, right? And people will put in pets, food, self-care. Like they might put in 3 different categories. So anything related to those categories, now Instagram has figured out, well, we can get these videos in front of those people, and then that will help build Instagram's watch time, I guess, because people are actually getting relatable content to what they like. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna move on. YouTube, same thing. There's long form and short form videos. Long form is your most commonly known, obviously. Short form is just another version of like Reels on Instagram or Facebook. And so with long form videos, your audience strategy or your niche based strategy works best. So people who would view like our Instagram or our YouTube, for example, they might see it and notice that it's very dog based, and so other dog followers might follow the YouTube account. I wouldn't have a pro sports athlete following my account on YouTube because I don't have value to add to them. I'm not teaching them how to do squats, for example. So in this situation, I would have pet owners and other dog lovers and that kind of audience following us instead. And so that's where you would apply your audience based and your niche based strategies to that algorithm. Same thing with TikTok. It's very niche based and identity based. I don't really explain why identity based on TikTok is because you can set yourself apart on it and take off with it. It might be a little bit harder, but as long as you can stick with the trends, it is very doable to set yourself apart on TikTok. So if you're somebody who has an identity based strategy, I would go with that. I noticed Trip does the best on TikTok because of his identity, meaning he has the cleft palate, he's unique, he's an American bully breed, he stalks people, which could be a trait of a bully breed. So for that reason alone, he gets a lot more attraction because it makes him unique and stand out versus just, another regular dog that doesn't really have any unique traits about them. I would say you'd be better off going onto Instagram if your dog's more like aesthetically or visually pleasing. You might gain more of a following on that platform instead. So pick your right platform first based on your strategy, and then you'll see a lot of success. And that's why it's super important. I would actually spend a lot of time here, like studying this and figuring out what your niche is or where you lie in these strategies, and then which platform you feel would be best to start out on. I wouldn't start with all 4 platforms. I have all 4 platforms, and I primarily leverage TikTok and Facebook right now. I feel like I've grown well, we need to grow his Instagram as well. That's like my next goal here pretty soon because I've mostly done just TikTok and Facebook. However, I do want to grow his Instagram and YouTube accounts, so I'm going to be focusing a lot of attention on those while also still somewhat maintaining his TikTok and Facebook accounts as well. Now, as for posting frequency, I wrote out the main goals you should have for posting frequency for the most amount of growth that I feel like is sustainable, but everybody's different. Everybody has different time frames on how long they have available outside of their working hours or whatever to actually post. So pick a number that you can commit to and you won't burn out, essentially. So you might start off with a high amount of posts and then you realize pretty quickly, like, wow, this is draining. Like, just drop it, but stick to a number that is consistent for you so that you don't just stop completely, and you'll see a consistent amount of growth over a period of time. If you haven't read any books, I'd read The Compound Effect. It is actually really, really helpful for this alone. But as for us, this is my main goal, actually, what I want to be posting. It is a lot of work doing this right now, but this is my goal for 2024 for the next, for the first quarter, at least of 2024, because I do want to grow these accounts as much as I possibly can and help reach other people who are looking to do the same thing. So that is my recommendation. But what you're going to do now is we are going to write in this box here what our desired platform is and what number of posts you feel that you can commit to. Now, it's really simple. You just click in the box and then you can start typing. So for example, if you want to do TikTok, you could say, I'm going to stick to 2 posts per day, for example, right? I feel like that's pretty simple. So if you know that that's your strategy right now, 2 posts per day would then equal 14 posts per week, right? And then let's say if you also want to work on YouTube in the long form, you could say 1 post a week, which would equal about 4 posts per month. Let's just say approximately right now. Okay. So you can fill in this information. We're going to input the number of posts for each platform into the calendar at the end, not right now. Right now we're just doing our brainstorming, our researching, and again, this should take you less than an hour to go through all this. It'll give you a lot of topics and ideas to write down so that you can take the thinking out of it and again, just jump straight into massive action so we can grow your account. As for your industry, now industry is a very vague term, obviously, but most people who would have downloaded this is likely going to be in the animal, pet, rescuing, adoption, dog industry, right? So just for simplicity, I'm going to write dog owner, and then specific type, I can write in American bully, you can write in your breed, also has a cleft lip and palate. So that's niching down again. And then my target audience would be dog lovers. Or you could even go into, dog lovers that rescue other dogs. That could be your target audience. And then from here, you just write out some ideas. So ideas that you have about this. So you could write about, let's say one of our topics could be on American bully breeds. rescue, dogs could be another one, cleft lip and palates in dogs. Right. You can fill all these out. I would start with at least 3 because then we can insert these 3 topics right here. If you want to do another 3, you can obviously fill in another 3 again. But for now, let's just start with these ones. So we have American Bully breed is our first topic, right? So now you're going to do a search engine brain dump, meaning these are your search engines, right? You've got Google, YouTube, Google Trends is another one, answerthepublic.com is another resource, Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, Pinterest. There's a lot of areas you can search. But for the sake of time, let's actually go into Instagram. Click on the search, I'm going to look for American Bully, right? You just want to type in the first few things. So now you can see here the different searches that come up, and you can write about anything that you would like to essentially write about. Nothing in here is really appealing to me, if I'm being quite honest. So we could go to YouTube. We could also, that's so funny that just came up, but we could go to, I'm actually going to save to watch later. Okay. We could go to American Bully and see what comes up. So you can see here on YouTube, we've got barking, dogs, puppies, training. That could be a good one. Let's try American Bully breed. History, diet, training. There you go. So for the American Bully breed, this is search based, obviously, right? So we're just looking at what other people are searching for. Nothing really that actually stands out to me, except for it had American Bully puppy, American Bully training. I would think American Bully like personality traits would be a good one. Like, are American Bullies good with kids? That kind of thing. So you would write in your topic, and then you would write in some of the searches that you found. Or if you did another one like cleft lip palates, you'd go into here and you'd say cleft lip and palate dog. Say surgery, before and after surgery, dogs with cleft palate. So like feeding puppy with cleft palate, right? So you could do how to feed a puppy with a cleft palate. Can dogs with cleft lip / palates survive? Right? So you're just brain dumping some ideas here. And this is going to give you some ideas for your videos that you have in the future. And then from there, right, this is where we decide on the type of content that we're actually going to create. Now, when we create our content, it should be based on the research of the current trends, almost search for answers. So that's why we break down the strategy into a percentage, and you want to be as close to the percentage as you can. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So 70% of the content that you post should be based on search engines and their results. 20% of it should be based on trending audios and news. 10% should be personal. This is a graph obviously showing you that. So what we're going to do is, as we figure out what content, what platform we're going to be posting on frequently, and then we're going to break down how many of each type of video, right, we're going to be posting on. Now, on top of that, here are our content value pillars. So remember how I said each strategy, essentially, you can have multiple ways of providing value in that strategy. So you want to have videos that are mixing around the pool of value pillars. You don't want to just constantly be educating people, right? You want to also have maybe a little bit of entertainment in there. Maybe want to be a little bit more relatable, inspirational. Not everything just has to be education to add value. So I find that mixing through these 4 pillars are going to help rotate your content out. So you don't feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. You're able to mix it up a little bit. With that, we're going to now start calculating the number of videos that you should aim to create based on 70-20-10 rule. So I know up here, we had said that we were going to do TikTok 2 posts a day, which is 14 a week, and YouTube 1 post a week, which is 4 posts a month. Alrighty, so what you're going to do is you're going to pull up your calculator, and we are going to input that number into here. So I said you want to post at least 2 times a day on TikTok, which would be 14 times a week, and 14 times a week times 4, it's going to be 56 videos per month, right? And of that 56, now we're going to times that by 0.7, and that's going to calculate to around 39 videos, being search-based. 20% of those videos are then going to be 11 videos, and then 10 videos we're going to put 6, just to round up. So that's going to be the amount of videos that we're going to be posting. So if I were to calculate that, 39 plus 11 plus 6 equals 56. That's how many videos you're going to be posting, and then what percentage you're going to be posting them on. So 10% of them are going to be personal, meaning they're self-satisfying, you're creating for yourself or whatever you want because you're a creator. 20% of them are going to be trending, meaning you're using trending audio, sounds, reels. I actually find that trending is a lot more effective for Instagram, especially with dogs. However, search-based is still the #1 way to reach people. If you want to reach people and add value to people, search-based is always going to be the first way to get yourself in front of viewers because people are searching things every day. So you want to make sure that primarily you are posting a lot of search-based content. Now, up here, I said that we're going to do YouTube, which was once a week. Obviously, for long form would be for a month. And so we're going to obviously not be able to calculate that at a 70-20-10 percentage, but I would say 2 videos at 70%, or you could consider it being technically 50% at that point. And then I would say 1 and 1. So I'd be 25%, 25% at that point. But for the short term, you're going to look at it as that, right? 2 videos and then 1 and 1. That's your closest way to hitting the 4 videos a month for that one. If you're doing short form videos, obviously that number would be different. In that case, you would put in the percentage based on what you calculate. You're going to start turning the content that you did the research into videos, right? We need attractive and juicy hooks that will engage people to watch your content. Hooks will be your heading that sits basically right above the top of the page. It gives your viewers an oversight of what your video will be about. Now, keep in mind that this does not include YouTube, because obviously YouTube, you have a thumbnail that you would include. However, all your reels or your short form style videos, you will need a juicy hook that you can put at the top. So when somebody is scrolling as they do, why are they going to stop and watch your video? And that's what you got to think of. Now, this is where you can get creative with your topics that you had written up here at the top, and you can basically fill in a few different hooks that you would use for each of those videos. Example I put in here is XYZ behavior in dogs are no, right? And then you want to also include the emojis that have a a grab or an attention pull to it, because that attention pull is what's going to stop people in their tracks and make them watch your video, because it adds that little bit more flair, right? Versus just a text on the screen. People don't stop necessarily for text. People are very visual, so they can see that there is something that may be alarming. It will make them stop and actually read what the video might be about. And then once they read it, then they'll likely listen to it. And the reason why you want a juicy hook at the top of the screen as well, and a lot of like captions and stuff, is because most of the time people nowadays might be sitting in bed next to their partner scrolling through social media, and they might have the sound down because they don't want to interrupt them, or for whatever reason they might be on a train, or they might have forgotten their headphones. And so juicy hooks are a good way to keep people looking at the video, and then the captions also keep them watching it to see what happens at the end of the video. For long form videos, this is where you would write in your topics here, because this is going to be different. It's going to correlate to your thumbnail as well. And then I also included an example here, like 5 reasons why you should get an American Bully, instead of just like a simple boring topic video of I got an American Bully, or this is what it's like having an American Bully. People don't really search for that, right? They want to search for like, why should you get an American Bully, or what is the reasoning behind that? Now, clickbait and bait and switch are two separate tactics, and I want to really emphasize this really quickly. I know I wrote it out here, but just to overview it really quick, bait and switch is essentially when you put a hook at the top of the video, and then the video is actually something completely different, and people are often like let down or disappointed when you watch a video and you're like, wait, that didn't actually happen. Causes mistrust. People will unfollow you. People will keep scrolling. People won't engage with the video. Definitely do not do this. It will lead to a lot of views at first, but then it will eventually fall off. Like, it's not going to sustain anything in the long term. Avoid this at all costs. Now, clickbait, on the other hand, I know it sounds like a negative term, but clickbait actually is simply just finding a way to bait people in to click on your video. So what makes your video stand out against other videos? And typically it's your thumbnail or the hook or the description that you have above at the top of the video. So when people are scrolling, it makes them want to stay and watch your video instead of continuing. So make sure that you have something that is attractive, that allows people to actually click on your video, but then fulfill the promise of what the clickbait headline or juicy hook headline is. Don't misguide people, mislead people, because that is not going to end well. Okay, we want to make sure that the heading is also in line with the video, and you're fulfilling the promise of what the video is actually going to show. Now, you have a huge area for notes, so you can write notes obviously throughout this whole session, or anything else that you want to just jot down if you have any thoughts. But this is where it gets really exciting. So we have the 2024 planner, and I designed this as well. And then yeah, you can go through here and mark any important dates, maybe like Christmas or July 4th that comes up, or whatever you want. So you can just circle those, make sure those big dates are marked out. You also have in here a goal board, so you can type in YouTube to 10K subscribers, right, or whatever you want to do for that. And then as you go through and you complete it, you can check them off. So that'll help keep you on track with your goals. I would really recommend taking the time to go through and write this out. And with the content, so the 3 different topics that we have, what you're going to do is you're going to be rotating the content and topics into the planner itself. So for example, if we're just doing TikTok and YouTube, you're going to pick out which days and times and contents and topics and whatever you want to be inputting into your calendar. And you're going to do that for the next 2 to 3 months. Okay, you can do it 1 month at a time. I would just recommend just doing 2 to 3 months worth. So all you need to focus on is filming and editing and creating the content that you need to actually get out there on your social media platforms. So we're doing TikTok and we have 2 posts per day, right? You're going to need to create a lot of topics, right, for those 2 posts per day. And so let's start with our YouTube, because that's 1 per week. So in this case, we have, depending when you started, if you started on a Thursday, it would be 1 every week there. So let's just say the goal would be to film it on Wednesday, and then we'll have it edited on Thursday, and then Friday you would post it. So you could say YouTube, or if you want to simply just put a huge X right there for YouTube, you can also do that as well. And then once you type it in, you will put in the topic. So we go back to the top here. We could say this one was our topic, and then you would basically just put it in there, and then now you have it. Okay, and the same thing with TikTok. You could, instead of writing in whatever the topic is, although I recommend still writing in the topic or the name of the TikTok, just takes the thinking out of it. You can do it on the front end. But if you don't have time to do that, you can always filter through which value pillar that you want to post about, or which search-based versus trending versus personal content that you want to post about. So you could say, because I know that we need to have at least, if we go back to the top here, once we do our calculation, we have 56 videos a month. So you know that 39 of those need to be the 70%, and then 20% and 10%. So let us do 39, 11, and 6. So we have 6. We could do. I'm going to type in 10%, 6 would be 10%, 10%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's our personal content that we're going to be posting. Then we need 11 in the other categories. That'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I would just do all 3 of these. And you could just type in the 20% instead of actually typing it in. And this will be fixed, by the way, guys, this whole where it's centering like this. I am still revising it, but I just want to get the video out so that y'all have it, and then that way I can upload the finalized print of this. And then yeah, I would go in here and I would just pick 2 days. So you could do 20% on this day, and then maybe 20% on this day, and then same thing, 20%, 20%, right? So you're just gonna type it in. And you could say TikTok, which is TT, or whatever you want to do for that, right? You'll figure it out, like what makes sense for you, and then you can go in and write that in yourself. And you can even write in the hook line, right? So if you're doing a trending based line, you could say audio, like trending audio, for example. Or if it's something that's based on like trending news, like the donkey COVID or whatever you want to call it, what's the go, right? You could say something like that, so that you know it's basically going to be around that category in the 20%, and it's educational in this situation. So now that we have all of that done, you're going to go in and you're going to write in. Obviously, you can also write in your priorities for the month. That stuff I'll leave up to you. You can put in monthly focuses that you have. So week 1, you could just say being consistent. You could write in whatever it is that you want, gain 10 followers, whatever that could look like, right? You can write in your monthly focuses for each week, and then your to-do list if you have a to-do list, because again, it's a planner. It's meant to be designed for you to plan out your day, as well as utilizing the calendar as a content calendar so you can see what you need to post and when. We want to also track. If you're not tracking anything, you don't know if you're growing or not. So tracking is the biggest thing that we need to do. And I want you to start by filling in, if you're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, start by filling in all of this information. You can do it at the start of the month, you can do it at the end of the month. It's totally up to you. But regardless of when you start it, which I would start at the first of the month anyway, and then by the time the first of the month comes around in February, you can also do the same thing. So you can then update it with the follower number, the amount of videos that you were able to post, all of that kind of stuff. Or if you do it actually at the end of the month, then you can calculate the number of videos you posted, your impressions, your average likes, that kind of thing, and then you have that filled out. And then go through and do that for, again, you don't need to do the whole year of content. You could do 1 month, you could do 2 months, you could do 3 months. Ideally, you should be able to do 3 months within 1 hour time block. And then once you get all of that information put in, so you've gone to your search engines and you've looked at what people are searching for, once you've started there, then you should be good to go. We should be all done, right? You should be able to just plug and play and start posting the content you need to post, which means you need to start filming to do that. And if you want more information and guiding on how to film and edit and do all that for your videos, stay tuned, subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow along. If you want to download this PDF guide, it will be linked below, so you can go ahead and get access to that right now. It's actually on sale because I want people to get going this New Year's. I want people to start off strong and finish strong this New Year's with a great amount of growth in their Instagram account. I am also really looking forward to applying these strategies myself into my account, so be sure to follow my accounts if you want to follow us along if you're not quite sure yet. I will also be posting a lot of tips and tricks on my Instagram, my social media, so if you want to follow us, please do that. I really hope this added value to you guys, and if you have any questions at all, please reach out. I am so excited to be on this journey with you. Again, you can always print out this document. You don't feel like filling it out digitally. I totally understand, but I hope this is able to help you out, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.